Hello everyone, Sandi here. Welcome to Exploring Tarot. I'm just popping on very quickly here now because, and rather unplanned really, because this just arrived in the mail and I have been waiting for this deck to arrive for, gosh, 2.5 months, something like that. By the way, excuse my voice, I'm still a little bit sniffly and my voice keeps disappearing on me, so. But anyway, this is, as you can tell, the Stella's Tarot, and it's signed by the creator. So this deck has been told to me that it's out of print, and I suppose it is out of print here in Europe and in the US, but I reached out to the creator and she is still selling these. You have to pay for shipping from Japan, and the shipping is literally done by shipping on a ship, on a boat, instead of airmail. So it takes a while to get here, but it got here and I'm so excited to dig into this. So I bought this straight from the creator, Stella, and or rather I was in touch with Stella. She got me in touch with her worker, or the person who sorts out any orders for her, and we chatted and I paid through PayPal, and here we are 2.5 months later. It is here and signed, and I'm so excited. So let's just get straight into this. It came just wrapped in a bubble wrap. The box itself did not have any shrink wrap, but the cards, as you can tell, are wrapped in plastic. Now, I am very curious to see if I did ask, and I think she said that the guidebook does come in English. So let's have a look. Okay, so these are the backs. The cardstock is very smooth and kind of like a satiny matte finish. All right. Yes. So, the guidebook is in English. We've got introduction, meaning of the cards, and yeah, so cool. We'll have a little look at that later. So here are the cards. Now, I knew about this border, and I also know that I'm going to be so tempted to trim this deck, but at the same time I think I'm going to leave it for now, because this is not, from what I can tell, a standard size tarot. It's a bit smaller. Let's have a look. Yes, as I suspected, it is the same width as, well, actually it's even the slightest bit thinner, no, it's the same width as a regular standard tarot card, but it's about, oh wow, let's actually be very thorough with about this. Hang on. It is exactly 8 millimeters taller. Sorry, shorter than a regular standard tarot card. So it says Stella there on the back. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's focus on the imagery, shall we? Alright, Stella's Tarot, the Fool. Alright, first of all, I can definitely say that it annoys me a little bit, this copyright here on the side. Don't know why they do that. I mean, I know why they do that, but it's still, from a practical standpoint, it's a little bit annoying, but maybe I'll learn not to see it. Because the borders so far don't really bother me. I feel like maybe it just makes it feel all the more special. Let's see. Alright, so we've got a classic looking fool here with like a jester costume on, and we've got the dog trying to prevent him from falling. You know, pretty straightforward, but look at these colors and the face. I'm liking this artwork a lot more than from the pictures, to be honest. It's it's a bit more detailed than I thought. It's a shame that the artwork isn't bigger. Like, I really feel like the artwork could have been made bigger. And, you know, these borders could have been much smaller. Alright, the Magician. So one thing that I found really funny and a bit different in this is that the heads are just so much smaller than the bodies. Which I think is quite quirky, and I really love the colours in this deck. They're very muted, but still very colourful. So on the table here we've got a cup, we've got some pentacles, we've got a sword, we've got a scroll, an egg, and the Magician is holding a wand here. We've got the lemniscate, but then we also have this like shell on the chest of the Magician. And you can also see the snake, or the Ouroboros, around the waist there. Cool. The High Priestess. I love the texture here in these cards. Look at these, like the textures in the paint. And she's holding a crescent moon in a string there. And she's also holding a book with what looks to be a pentagram on the front. It's very interesting. The Empress. So far very classic like looking mages. Like, we can definitely immediately tell which card we're looking at just from the choice of colors and also well, the obvious depiction. love these flowers here in the background. And the lace around her shoulders. I think that's real lace. I think this must be like mixed media portrait. So she's painted, but then she's included like real life items, because this lace is very intricate. Alright, and the Emperor. Again, we've got lace around the neck there, but we also have a scepter of some kind and hang on, what are they called? I can't remember now in English. Well, the ball and the staff and the I don't know. Anyway, there's the ram heads on his throne here, and yeah, it's a very cool looking emperor. I like his like padded armor thing that he's got going on here as well. The Hierophant, also again very classic in the sense that you can tell that this is the Hierophant from the way he's holding his hand there, and there's this orb just like hovering above there, and he's also holding some kind of staff, and yeah. Oh, look at these lovers. I love this lovers card. The flowers, the wings on their backs, very fairy-like. Again, I wish the card was bigger so I could see the artwork better and all the texture in the card. I feel like my camera isn't picking up the colors correctly. Don't know why. The Chariot, again very obviously the Chariot, but I love these horses. Look at them, they look very dreamy. And then the half moons on the shoulders there. Very cool. And the passionate like red background here. You really get the feeling of passion as the driving force here. Justice. Ooh, we've got cool and composed, like the background here. I'm noticing the backgrounds in these cards now because it feels like they're also very reflecting in what is being told in the card. So here we've got Justice with the sword and the scales, very stern looking face, very rigid pose, but then we also have this rigid backdrop of what looks like a concrete wall that's built up with these very symmetrical, like geometrical slabs, you know. Yeah, super cool. Oh, I love this hermit. He's very magic looking. Sorry, magical looking. We have this old man in his cloak. He's got a staff and a snake is winding up it. And then we also have, what is that? Some kind of dragon? Bird looking thing? On the side there. And he is holding the sun on a string, which is super interesting because the High Priestess was holding the moon on a string in a very similar pose. That's super cool. Especially since usually I think the High Priestess and the Hierophant tend to be like matched up together, you know, kind of like the Empress and the Emperor. Sometimes even the Magician and the High Priestess, but I've never seen a connection between the Hermit and the High Priestess in this way. It's very interesting. Fortune instead of Wheel of Fortune. I like this though. She's holding the handle and she's making the wheel go round. And we've got a sphinx looking thing and a dragon and a devil looking thing on the wheel. So instead of strength we have miracle, which is very interesting. I didn't know this about this deck actually. I'm pretty sure I've seen this card before and it said strength underneath it. That's pretty interesting. I tend to prefer strength cards where they are not trying to pry open the lion's mouth. But, yeah. It's still a very fetching card, I think. It's just going to read a bit differently to what I'm used to. Or to what I prefer. The Hanged Man. Ooh, I like this Hanged Man. I like this one a lot, actually. I like these colors first of all, and these trees, these stylistic looking trees here. I like that the guy is kind of like juggling upside down. You see these juggle balls here, and he's got a dragonfly on his chest. And the sun is shining here. I really like that card so much. Death. Ooh, I like this death as well. Look at all of these moths coming from behind the curtain. And we've got like staircases and this weird pointy hand here. And the death figure is holding an hourglass as well as his scythe. And we've got this like fossil ammonite looking thing here. And also again I'm struck by the texture in these cards. I really hope they will re-release this deck, but make it bigger and maybe borderless. That would be so cool. Temperance. Now, Temperance is usually one of my favorite cards, but I really appreciate it when they go a different way with Temperance. And like you probably have heard me say 100 times this year, Temperance is my card of the year. And I mean, I like this card. It's okay. I like these waves that she's standing in, these swirling waters. But there's something about, I don't know. It's not my most favorite Temperance, but it's okay. I realize I've forgotten to talk about the cardstock, and it's just really nice. It's actually super nice. Yeah. The devil is cool looking. I like this devil a lot, actually. Let's try and get some more light here, shall we? There we go. Again, we've got this tiny, tiny head and these wide, broad shoulders. Look at these arms. They're huge. These horns are also quite funny. And there's this little crescent moon hanging from one of the horns. And the devil himself has got a third eye. There. Cool. The tower. Yeah, very classic tower, but I really love this art style. And also I like that the humans seem at least a little bit in proportion to the tower. Cool. Oh, this is a beautiful star card. Oh, I like the colors in this so much. I also love that we've got this swirly, powerful thing coming out of her finger there. I also like that we get a face in the star. I know some people don't like faces in the stars and the moons and sun, but I do. This moon card is super cool. Look again at the texture, the crackling texture in the background there. I like that a lot. So pretty. The sun, we've got two musicians. Excuse my neighbour's dog, I bet you can hear that. It's a pretty cool sun card. Alright, here we've got Judgment. The people that are being called to are tiny, tiny, tiny in the bottom of the card here. But I really like the flowiness out of the trumpet here. It's pretty cool. And finally we have the world that has been changed to the universe. Classic looking world card with the wreath and the naked woman holding the two batons. And then we've got these beasts or creatures in each corner of the card. Alright, so it looks like we're starting with the Knight of Wands for some reason. I'm wondering if it's gonna go... Yeah, alright, so we're starting with the Knight of Wands. Alright. So hang on, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, Prince of Wands, and Princess of Wands. Alright, so we've got a bit of a different system here. No king. Which is pretty interesting. I wonder what the guidebook says about that. Because what would the... Where has the king energy gone then? If the prince is not on a horse, but it's in the knight position. Ooh, why did I not know about this? Is this going to be a problem? Let's have a look what the guidebook says. I don't know if they're even going to acknowledge this. No, nothing there. Then we just go into the meanings of the cards. Alright, so let's see if she says anything about the... So she just jumps right into the meaning of the Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands. Prince of Wands and Princess of Wands. Ooh, alright. So I was hoping to get some kind of insight into what made her remove the king. And should the queen then be seen as the ultimate wielder of that suit? But in that case, why is the knight Knight of Wands, the message of the universe: to achieve your aim, trust yourself and have the determination to get through hardships. Keywords: passion, active, strong, fast, self-esteem, unconditionally moving forward, resilient, courage, rich, knowledge, friendship, money, ambition. Queen of Wands: a positive attitude towards hope will help you seize an opportunity. Attraction, stability, continuous passion, acceptance, generosity, peaceful, consist. I feel like it's just the name that's changed. So instead of the king, we have a knight. But otherwise, the meanings are probably meant to be read the same. Because look, the knight here has a crown as if he's a king. So I think that if you want to, you could just read it as King of Wands. And King of... Because if you look at this one as well, the King of Cups really looks like the King of Cups. But it says the Knight of Cups. So let's just ignore the fact that it says Knight if it's going to confuse me. Alright, so the Knight / King of Wands. I kind of really like these in any way. Like, I like the artwork and the fieriness and the torch that he's wielding, and yeah, the queen has a jaguar or what was this? Panther? No. I always get them mixed up. There's so many different ones with spots. But anyway, she's in tune with this feline, and usually the Queen of Wands does have a cat with her, if I'm not misremembering. Yeah. Prince of Wands. He's holding fire in one hand and a wand in the other. The Princess of Wands, standing in a ring of fire, holding fire on a string there. Alright, so then we jump into the Ace of Wands. That's so pretty. Look at that gold in the background as well. It's very cool. We've got Two of Wands. I like that. I like this deck so much so far. The colors is really speaking to me. She's holding this little like tower looking thing in her hands. The guidebook didn't seem to be written in a way that's going to make much of an impact on me, but we'll see. I'll have a little look at it later. There's Three of Wands. Is also very cool, like a little hat. But look at the detail on the dress there. I think it's lace, but it almost looks like cogwheels, which is really cool. Like having put stuff in motion and going places. And it looks like she's, you know, just licked her finger and put it up in the air to check which way the wind blows, you know, for her ship. Even though she could tell that from the flags, but anyway. Four of Wands. Very pretty. Got this couple standing underneath the Four Wands there and the canopy. Super pretty. Five of Wands. We've got these flying, fighting boys. That's really funny. Six of Wands. He's won a prize. Just trying to make out what it says on the plinth that he's standing on, but I can't. I don't think you can read that. Seven of Wands. Ooh, I like this seven. Look at this. Look at the energy in this card. He's just letting his energy come out through here and, you know, fighting off all of this opposition. Cool. Eight of Wands. I like that. That's such a different Eight of Wands. Look at that scroll that's flying there as well. It looks like she's almost levitating it, you know, like Wingardium Leviosa kind of thing. Oh, that's so cool. Nine of Wands. Oh. Oh, that's such a poignant image. Look at those colors. It's like dawn breaking almost, like it's nighttime, but we can see this line of light here, and then there's this little star either coming to the hand. Yeah, no, it's definitely coming to the hand because of the tail of the light there. There's this snake on this one wand here. Super cool image. And then the Ten of Wands, speaking for itself. He's holding all of these wands, and there's this rain cloud just on him, and it just feels like, you know that song, "Why does it always rain on me?" It's yeah, that song just immediately popped into my head. Oh, I love this deck. Alright, so we've got King of Cups, Knight of Cups. And he's sitting in this water. We've got this bird coming out of that cup, or it looks like it's been, Yeah, it looks like it's bursting out of that cup almost. That's a really cool King of Cups. Then we've got Queen of Cups. Yeah. She's holding a drop of water in a string. And holding a cup in another hand with a lily, water lily in it. The Prince of Cups is riding a swan or some kind of peacock looking thing. Like a gondola. And the Princess of Cups is holding a cup that's bursting, releasing a bunch of butterflies. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness, look at this Ace of Cups. How gorgeous is that? Alright, so I accidentally pressed mute, and we are going to continue this as a voiceover. And this is the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I really like this Ace of Cups. I think it's one of my favorites I've ever seen. At least that's what I think I said. Anyway, I really like this. The lotus flowers there. Right, this card here is very, you know, similar to the regular Rider-Waite-Smith with the angel lion, and quite different with the orange background and these bright orange clothes there. It's a very striking image. I don't know what that lion symbol is called. I just call it an angel lion or lion angel. If anybody knows what it's actually called, you can drop me a comment down below. Oh yeah, this card, I really like this card. I really love the blues and the oranges, and those berries I just pointed at. They remind me of cloudberries, which is one of my favorite berries. It's just a very pretty card, in my opinion. Really like the pops of color in this. Okay, so this Four of Cups, quite similar to the regular Rider-Waite-Smith with the cloud hand and the, you know, apathetic look in that guy's face. But yes, the Five of Cups, this is so silly. I was noting how this Five of Cups was really different to the regular one, because all the cups are turned over and the characters themselves are actually pouring out the cup, the contents of their cup. Like usually we see, you know, 3 cups that are turned over and 2 cups behind them that are still fine, and in this card every single cup is empty and turned over, and yeah, super interesting. And here I'm also noticing some kind of weird thing there in the corner that I'm not sure what it is still, but yeah. Super interesting, I felt about the cups there, so I put this card to the side to read about it later. I really love this Six of Cups. It's so pretty. Again, the color scheme in this deck is just so amazing, and it's just, you know, very nostalgic looking and happy childhood kind of thing. I really liked it. This card here is also very straightforward, Seven of Cups, with the cups in the clouds and all the different things in there. The dragon and snake and such. Eight of Cups, a bit different to what we usually see. In this picture, the character is actually walking towards us, and the cups that I'm pointing at here, they're not stacked the same way as in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. The gap, they're usually placed so that there's a gap between the cups, signifying that something's missing. But in this case, I suppose the pyramid isn't finished, so you could read it that way anyway. I really like this house in the background as well, or the tent. It's a bit difficult to tell what it is exactly, but yeah, here I'm signaling how how the character is usually walking away from us, signifying that they're walking away from something. In this case, it feels like they're walking towards us, so yeah. And I'm admiring the moon here because I think the sky there is really pretty. Yeah, Nine of Cups. What I thought was really cool about this card, though, is that the items on the table here are the same items that we saw in the Seven of Cups, and I'm going to pick up that card in a moment here to talk about that. Looking at the rainbow here and the colors, and I really liked the colors here. Oh, did I not pick up on that? Or was it in this card that I'm thinking about it? Yeah, the same cups with the items are between these cards, but also the Seven of Cups, so I thought that was quite fun. Or am I mixing myself up here? I think maybe this is the cards that I noticed the same items in the 9 and 10. Okay, so the Knight of Swords here riding on this Pegasus, looking quite knight-like. And the Queen of Swords here standing in front of this night sky, holding her sword up high. Very Queen of Swordsy. Really like those blue curtains as well. Kind of gives me a bit of High Priestess vibes, this one as well. Probably because of the blues. Here we have the Prince of Swords holding something that looks like balloon strings, but you can't see the balloons. Yeah, very prince-like. And the Princess of Swords balancing on this orange ball is quite an interesting image. And here we have the blue curtains again. And this is where I realized that I had the mute button on. So we're going back to the regular now. Okay, so I've just noticed that I think I might have had the mute button on for the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, fingers crossed that it wasn't so. Because then I don't know what to do about this walkthrough. Let's just see and hope, okay? So the Ace of Swords. Ace is such a pure pretty. I really love the aces in this deck. Super pretty. Two of Swords, gorgeous card. Look at this. I'm really enjoying this deck, you guys. I knew I would because, I mean, I paid through the nose to get it here, but still, I'm so glad that it actually turned out that way. Gorgeous. Three of Swords. What is that on her dress? Like some kind of goldfish? Something? Now, I didn't see any description of the cards, like the imagery of the cards in guidebook, which is going to be a shame if that's so, but yeah, we'll just have to see. 4 of Swords. Okay. So that's very interesting. 4 of Swords is usually some type of rest. A resting image. So this is very interesting indeed. We've got these 2 people who seem to be like balancing or juggling balls between themselves. Maybe because they've laid down all of their swords, they're not fighting anymore. Instead, they're finding ways to communicate in different ways. I don't know. That's what I see. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a very different card here. This is the first anthropomorphic figure we've seen in the deck. We've got a person with a cat's head stealing these 3 swords. Very interesting. I wonder if we're nearly at the end of the deck and we haven't had any animal heads on people before. In fact, the only other animals we've seen are like the random birds and a couple of fishes and the dog in the beginning, I believe. And of course some horses for the kings, or the knights, I mean. 6 of Swords. Okay. Interesting. You get the feeling of a journey here, but in a sense, I mean, 6 of Swords, we are in a boat, but we don't get the classic imagery here of the swords standing up in the boat and the person ferrying some people to safety. 7 of Swords. Also super interesting. I'm not even sure what to say about this. I like the glowing star thing that's emitting some kind of energy here. And we've got a book and a scroll and a light, a candle. And all of these swords pointing out away from this person. Alright, and then we've got a bit more of a classic looking 8 of Swords. With the lady tied up and blindfolded, surrounded by the swords. Again, we get the emotion conveyed to us here as well in the color, choices of color here. The 9 of Swords. Super cool. Look at all of these nightmares around her, above her. The whale and owl. The breaking pillar. A frog? There's a random frog up there. And of course the big eye. That's really cool. 10 of Swords. Yeah. Alright, so we're on the last suit, which is the discs or the pentacles. So we've got the Knight of Discs. Very serene looking. And the Queen of Discs holding what looks like the earth in her arms. We've got the Prince of Discs. Again with a what looks like a dragonfly around, you know, as a decoration here. And the Princess of Discs with also flat dragonflies on her skirt. And again, I apologize for my neighbor's dogs. They just keep yapping all the time. Ace of Discs. This is funny because usually the Ace of Pentacles is my favorite aces of the aces in most decks. But this one is not calling to me at all. I think it's because usually I like the pentacle suit to be, you know, very earthy and, you know, natural, you know, lots of greens, but here greens and browns and stuff like that, but here we've got reds and oranges. Two of Discs. Not my favourite Two of Discs I've seen either. I like seeing the... Well, I suppose we've got a snake, which is a bit of a, you know, peril, I suppose. But I don't know how to read this, really. I like seeing the balancing of things, you know, balancing in the... in spite of things around you being in, like, tumultuous. Here we're in a sealed room. Very odd. Three of Discs. This Three of Discs give me, you know, four of... Oh, but no, the four is definitely the four of Discs. Why is it that I'm not connecting at all with this image? I don't know. Four of Discs. Quite classic. Foot on each disc and then one above and one in the hands. Very classic. Five of Discs. He's chasing the 5 discs that seem to be floating away from him like bubbles. We don't have any, you know, source of a rescue or anything that we usually get, you know, like the church window or a fire with people sitting around them or a warm house that they could go to. There's nothing like that, just the person chasing the 5 discs. 6 of Discs. Quite classic, person standing there weighing and doling out to those who need it. 7 of Discs. This is a cool image. This is my favorite from the disc suit so far. Although, I mean, with that said, I mean, I like the image as it is. It's a pretty image, but 7 of discs? It's confusing me a little bit, because usually we see a person standing, but at the same time it's good because I like it when a deck is challenging me a little bit in what I usually see. 7 of discs. This is like, you know, I get the feeling of a downward spiral, that we're spiraling out of control and we have these fears, and I don't know. This is a very interesting image. I'm going to put this one aside as well. Then we've got 8 of discs. So this is what I would see in the 7. You know, tending to our crops. Evaluating. Whereas in this 8 of discs, I usually, you know, you usually see somebody out there, you know, mastering a skill. Very odd. 9 of discs. Again, I want, for some reason in the 9 of discs, I do want the luscious garden with the lady and the hawk. But instead here we've got a lady with a telescope looking at the starry sky, and we've got the moon here in a cage, which is very interesting. I'm putting that one to the side as well. And then the last card, we have 10 of discs. We do not have a little happy family here with a rainbow. Instead, we've got... Or actually, am I mixing that up with the cups now? Oh no, yes, the discs. We usually have the old man and the... Yeah, never mind. It's just me messing things up in my head. Yeah. Perfectly fine 10 of discs, I suppose. This disc suit was really underwhelming to me. I think I'm most disappointed with the disc suit, to be honest. So let's have a quick look again at the guidebook, because there are things here. Let's just read from the guidebook when it comes to the 5 of cups, 7 of discs, and then I'll pick one major arcana as well. Let's take the death card, because it was just the first one I picked up. Alright, so let's do death first, because it's first in the book. Death. The message of the universe. Find the courage to put the past behind you. A new life begins. Today's love. Luck with love is very weak. You will feel completely down as your partner doesn't treat you right. If you're trying to find love, you might be taken aback by the cold receptions of men. Remove your falsely inflated expectations and put aside your vanity and ego with regards to love. Nope. This guidebook is not going to be my cup of tea at all. This is not how I want a guidebook to read. I'm sorry, this is just not... No. Let's just read the keywords instead. I'm gonna leave this here so you can read it yourself. My voice is giving in, so that's why I'm cutting this short. So you can pause this and read the rest of the entry if you want. Then I'm gonna go to the 5 of cups. I'm gonna hold this here so you can read the whole thing if you want. And I'm just gonna read you the keywords. Disappointment, insecurity, loss of love, bad luck, material greed, bad thinking, be low mentality. What? Be low obstacle, mind is empty, tired, something unexpected. For the 5 of cups. That doesn't really jive with me. I don't think I'm going to be using this guidebook much at all, to be honest. 7 of discs. There we go. I'll hold that up for you so that you can pause and read. And I'll read the keywords for this card here. Does not work hard, very tired, no enthusiasm, loss, dream and hope distanced. Fails in everything, no fun, worry, difficult thing, work not reaps fruit, changes in direction. I'm wondering if this is... because this is very different to the Seven of Pentacles that I'm used to reading. Very different, I mean. Let's just see for Seven of... I just want to see what it says, Seven of Pentacles, from, for example, the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Just because I happened to have this here. Yeah, see, here we have instead diligence, progress, sustainability, investment, long-term results, reward. Take time to assess the result and plan the next stage. This is what I usually read the Seven of Discs as. Ooh, this is going to be a bit different, I feel. Let's look from the Green Witch as well. Oh no, we've got the Cups last there, so hang on. The Pentacles, I think, was the first suit in this. Yes. So we've got Seven of Pentacles. Progress is being made on long-term project. As the project nears completion, there is a tendency to want to rush and get the job done, or to abandon the effort. Meaning long-term work project, productivity, business start, work decision needs careful consideration. Progress, nurturing a project or plan, impatient for rewards, goals achieved in due time. Hard work will pay off, focus on labors. Yeah. Very, very different to what I'm used to for these two cards. And the Death. I mean, I'm just going to disregard the guidebook, I think, entirely, because it was just not, it just doesn't seem to be my thing. The artwork, I feel I could read intuitively. Although some of them confuse me, like these. Although the Five of Cups, I suppose I can read in a different way, because it's still, you know, pretty similar in a way. But this is very different. I like the spider and the dragonfly being in it though, and I do like the overall. You know, it's a very, very, like I said, potent looking image. I can definitely read it, but not possibly only, you know, disregarding the Seven of Discs. I don't know. Anyway, I like this deck for the most part. And a lot of the artwork really speaks to me. Let me know what you think. Do you have this deck? Have you trimmed it? Would you like to see me trim my deck? I don't know if I'm gonna dare, to be honest. It was so difficult to get a hold of this deck, and yeah, I don't particularly want to order another one for the price that it was. Let's see how it shuffles. Gorgeous shuffle. Love how they are shorter than regular tarot cards, so that I can easily reach round and use it. And let's just lay out a few cards so that we can see. Let's also try to fan them out, shall we? A little bit clumpy, but it's not the worst. Definitely fannable. So let's pick out a few cards here to see what they look like together. Judgment, the Hermit, and 6 of discs. I can immediately tell a difference between the mages and the minors. Like, the mages look very much more, for the lack of a better word, major. Like, they look more grown up. These look a little bit more like, I don't know, playful. Yeah, that's the only word I can think of, really. These look more serious, and these look more playful. Yeah. Anyway, I'm losing my voice, so thank you so much for tuning in for my first impressions walkthrough of Stella's Tarot by Stella Kauruko. And yeah. Please take care of yourselves, and please let me know what you thought about this deck. And if you have any experience with this deck, I would love to know. So, thanks again, and I'll see you later. Bye!